Hi. So today we're gonna discuss about loan syndication. Most of my viewer they requested to develop session on loan syndication product and explain us how loan syndicated products work in primary and secondary market. So that's what after a long time, so I have decided to spend some time on loan syndication product and teach you how loan syndication or syndicated products like asset backed securities, mortgage backed securities, term loans, tranches, how they work in primary and secondary market, or how the private equity and hedge funds they work with those instruments and all. So I would request you to please be there till the end, and if you like this initiative, I would urge you to please share this content with others. Do not forget to click on bell icon, that will notify you as and when I'll upload new video. And apart from that, I would also request you, if you like this initiative, then please share this content with others. At least share this content with your WhatsApp or social media accounts, so that help me a lot to do more for you guys. Okay, so please see here. So finally, we are here at loan syndication process. If I ask you question, guys, what do you know about loan syndication? Right? It's a very simple term, but the word might be that syndication makes you confused, but that's fine. I'll explain little bit more how that it means or how it works. If I talk about loans, I'm sure that most of you guys, you already you're aware about it. If I talk about loans, so it means you can say personal loan, home loan, right, auto loan, credit card loans. What if I say, let's say you approach to the HDFC Bank for a personal loan, but HDFC Bank denied to pay that loan amount to you. Then what would be the other option? But let's say your approved limit was 1 lakh. Credit card, as per the CIBIL score, your approved limit is or was, let's say, 1 lakh, and you are looking for a 1 lakh credit as a personal loan from the HDFC Bank. But HDFC Bank denied that. Why? Maybe due to, let's say, you don't have a sound credit score or you don't have a sound income sources, and that will lead to the high risk, and HDFC Bank don't want it to enter into risky transaction. That's the one aspect. Okay, but HDFC Bank said like, yes, sole or alone we cannot offer you 1 lakh, but we can arrange you loan for you which is 1 lakh if you are okay with the process. Let's say you said, yeah, ultimately for you the 1 lakh is important, then you said yes. So if you can arrange it, so we'll arrange, we'll bear the arrange fees, or we'll also participate in the documentation process and all. Okay, let's say HDFC Bank then reach out to the HDFC Bank, reach out to the Axis, reach out to the ICICI, IndusInd. So there are the banks. Reach out to the other banks and said, see, HDFC Bank is ready with a 50% loan amount or that personal loan amount, and here let's say ICICI is okay with the 30%, 10% and 10%. So it means HDFC Bank will arrange the loan from the other lender, because all are lenders, right? All are lenders. HDFC Bank will arrange the loan from the lenders, and those lenders, again including HDFC Bank's contribution, would be around 1 lakh, 50,000, 30,000, 10,000, 10,000, it becomes 1 lakh, then 1 lakh will be transferred as a personal loan to the borrower. So what it means exactly, sir? So if you see all our institutions, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I talk about all four, it means it's become your syndication, right? Syndication, it means it's a group of institution. So now I'll simplify it. So I hope you got the idea. So it means due to risk, due to other different factors where the lender means the institution who offers the loans to the borrowers, right? Lender don't want to take much of a risk in the financial transaction. That's what, but again that lender want to arrange the loan for the borrower, not a loan, but that a lender will call other institutions where they can come together and fulfill the requirement of capital of borrower. So that process we call it as a loan syndication. And here again, if you want me to simplify it more, if same loan, so it means loan if the more than one institution or group of institutions offer together, then that process we call it as loan syndication process. Now if you ask me again how this process executed in the corporate and all, so if you want more insight on it, before that let me just quickly walk you through the documentation part and then I'll explain it. But before that I would like to ask one question. If I ask you about the different documents when you apply for a personal loan or home loan, what are the different types of documents that we signed when we want any personal or a home loan? So it means there would be assignment agreement, there would be consent means letter, loan approval letter which defines the terms and condition, right? There would be loan agreement or collateral agreement, then there would be a pricing letter or funding letter. So it means in which stages bank will fund to that particular XYZ borrower and all, maybe let's say 2, 3, 4 stages. If you see that framework, the same framework which is required in loan syndication business as well. So it means the documentation plays a crucial role in a loan syndication business. Documentation, where if you join any middle office process, let's say if you join any private equity or hedge fund business, and let's say if they have any loan syndication process, so and if you join the middle office process, especially middle office process, then you will have to work on trade ticket agreement, then trade confirmation, there would be assignment agreement document, multilateral agreement if you see sometime. So multilateral, I'll explain that what it means, multilateral and all. Then there would be final confirmation agreement as well. So those are the documents where we see in a loan syndication business. And as a middle office executive, you need to work on trade ticket, confirmation agreement, assignment agreement, then multilateral agreement and many more. You need to review those documents, you need to draft those documents, and again ensure that the fund managers, they have signed it before disbursement of payment. Eventually, when we signed all these documents, then all documentation will be sent to the custodian and as well as funding bank. Funding bank, it means bank who will disburse the fund on behalf of XYZ funds, and bank needed consent, written consent from the signatory authority, and signatory authority for a fund would be the fund manager who signed and ensure the timely payment or disbursement of committed loan amount. So that's what documentation come into picture. Again, the most important question would be, sir, is this means loan syndication very different than the normal personal loan and home loan? No, it's not a different, but it's a matter of purpose, right? In a home loan and personal loan, they are dealing with the individual client or customers, like retail clients, and where the, of course, risk could be low. But if I talk about the TCS, if I talk about the Wipro, if I talk about the Infosys, or any startups or any other institutions who are looking for funding. If I talk about, let's say, Elon Musk purchased Twitter, so he wanted the millions of dollars or trillions of dollars to acquire that particular company. Think about that, right? So transaction value or transaction amount would be very high in a loan syndication market. At a retail level, you would see 10 lakh, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs rupees. But in a loan syndication market, amount would be crore. 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 10 crore, 20 crore. And in US market, if you see 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million dollar, trillion dollars. So you would see that amount. So what it means, the amount or size of the transaction would be high. Otherwise, whether it is a personal or business loan, that's absolutely fine. You would see same type of framework. Where the here also it means before jumping into this particular loan execution and all, so arrange a bank, appoint auditor, appoint that institutions who allocate the ratings and all, like S&P Global, right? So those institutions who offer rating or assign rating on the basis of that institution's asset quality, liability, expenditures, income, loss, price to earning ratio, capital employed, business vision, mission, then the management style. On the basis of all, S&P and other institutions like Jefferies, Nomura, they allocate or assign rating to those institutions. So what it means on the basis in a personal loan, of course, that the underwriter of a retail bank, what they do, they before they assign credit limit or loan amount, what they do the analysis of end-to-end things like your income, expenditures, your credit score, and on the basis of your credit score they allocate loan amount to you. So similar way in a loan syndication business also, the institutions like Jefferies, institutions like Nomura, S&P Global, they perform crucial role. They provide end-to-end output or information about that particular counterparts to the funds, and funds then take the decision on the basis of that analysis. And that's what, so all institutions come together in a loan syndication process, and they play very crucial and vital role to execute deals in a very seamlessly and without any risk. And with regards to that, so now I hope now you guys are able to relate it. I mean, it's not a something different than the normal loans. In the normal loans also you would see some agreements. So here also you would see some agreements or documentation part. So I'm going to discuss that documentation parts. You would see the similar documents set in your process as well. So there the institutions like market and all, they provide that clearing agent facility, market or that the platform from the S&P Global, where you can access the loans with the LX ID and check the funding letter or the agreements, assignment agreements and all, to check it, the information, what information that you require. But I'll explain that each and everything, how you can relate easily. Okay, so now let me walk you through the documents. Okay, so documentation relating to the transfer of loan interest is extensive and incorporates the participation of several parties independent of the investment advisor. Placing the order, each loan interest transaction is documented in the form of, see the document names, note it down all these document names. The first one would be trade ticket. Every loan, see, try to understand it. I'll explain that as well, why the trade ticket come into picture. If I take the example of equity, if you purchase an equity trade from the open market, let's say NSE and BSE, how will you recognize and reconcile that particular trade? Let's say you are a buyer, then who would be your seller? How will you get that information? Because NSE and BSE or platforms like NSE and BSE, those are listed platforms. It's not easy to identify your counterparts, means buyer and seller of your security. It's not easy, but the clearing agents like Security Clearing Corporation, they maintain the data for buyer and sellers, right? How they maintain the data? When you send any order to the marketplace, automatically that the trading system of NSE and BSE, they creates the order number. and with that order number, security clearing corporations, they trade number. Trade number, it means trade tickets. So security exchange, when they create the order number, that order number will be sent to the clearing corporations, and then clearing corporations will create, or maybe sometimes stock exchange will create the unique HSN number, or I would say unique trade ticket number, and that trade ticket number will be shared with buyer and seller. So on the basis of trade ticket number, buyer and seller, they would be able to recognize the trades, right? Same logic you can apply in the loan market also. Loan market is not a different one. Same logic you can apply. Why? Because here the loans like LMA, Loan Mortgage Association, it's a marketplace like NSE. You can compare like NSE. LMA market, Loan Mortgage Association market from the UK. Most of the loans, they trades here in this place. And if I take the example of US, United States of America, they have LSTA market, Loan Syndication Trading Association of America. Most of the US loans, they trades here in this marketplace, and they play a role like NSE, as I told you, NSE and BSE. So you can relate that. It's not exactly, but yes. So here you would see buyer and seller or investment advisors, fund managers, they come together and they execute trades or deal through LST and LMA market. And that's what on trade ticket, or maybe sometime on an assigned agreement or the different documentation, you would see LMA. On heading would be LMA, because LMA market or LST market that defines the loan trading terms, loan settlement terms, because each market carry unique feature. If I talk about, say, it's a very broad or Wushian, I would say, but in a layman way or simple way, if I talk about unique differences, if you execute trades through LMA market for euro currency or GBP currency, then here trade life cycle would be T plus 10. Within a T plus 10 days, trade should be executed and settled. And if I talk about LSTA, which is for USD, then trade should be settled within a T plus 5 days. So that's the difference, right? That's the difference. If the market changes, then automatically term changes. If the country changes, then automatically trading terms also changes. And that's what it becomes. It's very important to understand the importance of documents also. Okay, so I hope now you got this idea, means what are the different markets that come into picture. But yes, when you execute or when you send any request for a trading, maybe buying and selling of loans, so it means automatically LMA and LSTA market, they create or they provide order ID, and then market is a famous platform, market and loan IQ. So they create trade ticket. And here, so most of the loans, they carry WHLN ID, means ID start with WHLN or else start with LX ID. Means loans trades with LX ID. Normal equities and bonds, they trades with I's in Q SIPs and all, but the loans trades with WHLN, means wholesale loan, and if you see normal term loans and all, that trades through the LX ID, means LX ID we need to create and list that on our platform. That's the important aspect. Okay, so with regards to that, so here you would see the documentation come into picture. First, trade ticket that you need to create. Trade ticket, it means a trade ticket is generated by an electronic settlement platform. See this, automatically settlement platform will create the trade ticket based upon trade details submitted by the executing broker to the settlement platform that memorialize the executing broker's understanding of the transaction. The trade ticket includes the identity of the buyer and the seller, and the borrower and the administrative agent, and the trade date, amount of loan, interest being transferred, the purchase price, and the assignment fees if any. Right, so you would see all key information in trade ticket. And so let me tell you, when the trade tickets are executed, back office team, so now here you can blink, back office team means loan syndication markets back office team, they record the trades on the basis of trade ticket. Only they record it. They cannot settle it, but they need to record it. And here the important is middle office team, they initiate the documentation. If they got or received the trade ticket, then they initiate, means they capture the trades from the platform like Loan IQ or the loan syndication platforms like Market or ClearPar or Euroclear. So they capture the trades from the platform like ClearPar, and then after they execute the documentation process or they initiate the documentation process, they reach out to the buyer and seller and they ensure at the timely settlement of trades within a stipulated and agreed time. But in loan, except LSTA trades, what I have seen, like, it's not easy to settle the trades on time. The reason is due to the documentation and all. So that takes a lot of time to execute the trades and all, and that's what few other things come into picture. So we'll discuss. Yes, so you can keep one thing in mind about the documentation processes. First document would be trade ticket. Okay. Then after the trade ticket, so it's very important to have a confirmation, written confirmation from the counterparts. If you are a buyer, then buyer also send the written confirmation to the seller, and seller also need to send the again or else agreed with that particular terms, whatever terms was defined through the trade tickets like price and all, everything it should agreed. But when that will be treated as agreed when the buyer and seller they signed the documents, or the authorities they signed the documents, then only it will consider as a both the counterparts they are agreed with the terms and condition which was defined in trade ticket, right? And that's what it becomes very important to understand the process of this. So here let me tell you this. The second agreement would be the trade confirmation. Trade confirmation, it means generated by the settlement platform. Again, same discussion, but the important is this documents list the buyer or seller as the principal, but is signed by the advisor. So advisor will sign on behalf of client and executing broker, but buyer and seller information would be available on this particular agreement. Yes, the other documents is trade confirmation. So let me tell you let me walk you through the other documents as well. Then third document should be very, very important one, which defines the terms and condition, that is assignment and assumption agreement. So here they define about again the information provided by the administrative agents effect the legal transfer of the loan interest based on the terms referred between the buyer and seller. The advisor signs the assignment agreement on behalf of the client. The client is listed as the buyer and seller. See, always when we talk about clients, it means buyer and seller that we can call. And both the administrative agents and the broker, if the buyer is new to the loan and not affiliated with an existing lender of record, then execute the assignment agreement to evidence consent of the assignment upon execution of the assignment agreement by the administrative agent. The client purchasing the loan's interest is recorded as a lender of the record. So very, very important. Assignment agreement define that lender of the record and borrower of the record both as well. So it means here lender client purchasing the loan interest is recorded as a lender of the record. Right? Lender receive, if someone is lending money to you, so it means you need to pay interest payment to that particular lender, right? So that needs to be recorded as well. So this is how the assignment agreement. I don't have at the moment like format of assignment agreement, but I'll provide you the link where you can go through the assignment agreement and all and check it how the assignment agreements works or executed between the buyer and seller. But yes, third document would be the assignment and assumption agreement, which defines the terms and condition in details. And the very, very important document is funding memo. Fourth document is funding memo. Funding memo is sometimes called like pricing letter as well. Right, we call pricing letter as also. So if you see, after the signing of all the above documents, then we also required funding memo, and it should be signed by the both the counterparts, because this funding letter is required to the middle office team to settle the trades, and also it is required back office team to settle the trades, because both the counterparties, they record, means middle office and back office, both the teams, they maintain the records. That's what settle the trades. And this is also required to the custodian, where they maintain the data on behalf of fund. And again, same funding memo is required to the banks, where they disburse or initiate the funding, or they process the funding. Same document is required funding memo for a regulatory processes as well, where you can maintain and submit the same input to the regulator also. And sometime funding memo would be included in the assignment agreement. So in between that, you need to check it. But yes, funding memo plays very crucial role. So this is how, means all documents that comes into the loan syndication picture. So all these documents you would see, I mean, while working, you would see all these documents in picture. Okay. So now let me just explain about the process of how this process works. I mean, loan syndication and all in the corporate.